guys, it's your girl Josh coming back to you from Real Takes. Today I'll be doing a review to the movie Ant-Man and the Wasp. First and foremost, before I jump right into it, we'll just go ahead and put that out that I will be doing a spoiler-free. So I'm not going to give away too many goodies, especially the really big things. You'll have to just go see the movie for yourself. So with that said, let's just go ahead and jump right into it. Now, of course, this one is directed by Peyton Reed, who actually did the original Ant-Man. I also like his work because he's done some previous movies that I love as well. Of course, Bring It On, Yes Man, The Breakup, a couple episodes of New Girl. So he's is a cool director, and I'm glad to see he was back on board to do this actual sequel to Ant-Man. Now, of course, we already have the original cast that came back. We have our Paul Rudd. We have Michael Douglas, we have Evangeline Lilly, and then we, of course, have, other supporting cast like Michael Pena, T.I. are back, and then we have some new faces that are on here that were good to see. Lawrence Fishburne, we have Hannah John Kamen, and we have Michelle Pfeiffer, just to name a few. And, of course, we have, Randall Park, he's in this, and I will say I love the casting in this. It was just a great overall good cast, first and foremost. Let me throw that out there. Now, for the storyline, as you all know, the last one came out for Ant-Man was 2015, and a lot has happened since there, especially in the MCU verse. And, of course, if you all recall what happened in the last Ant-Man and prior to that with some of the Avengers movies, he, as known as Scott, has gotten himself in a lot of trouble. And if you saw the trailer, you should kind of know what's happened in the trailer. Of course, he is basically confined to the home because he has put himself in a situation working with Captain America, and now basically he has decided to do the right thing, whatever, and stay out of trouble for the last couple of years. And he has a little bit of time left. And of course, certain things start to happen that causes him to have to get back into contact with Hope and Hank to help them. Now, I kind of liked how they kind of left that part open where you're trying to understand, okay, the situation with, Hope and Hank and Scott, and how it's a conflict there because, of course, Scott went and did something he shouldn't have done, utilizing certain things that belong to the doctor and, of course, Hope. And it kind of leaves him where he has to basically find ways to entertain himself, being that he's, confined to his home. He has, of course, Michael Pena's character and also his daughter, Cassie, who are always kind of showing up. He has his time where she comes to the house and visits for the weekend. And then, of course, his buddy, one of his ex-con friends, Michael Pena's character, and then the other guys, T.I. And Kurt, to come, and just, kind of, keeping, company or whatever and all that, bringing work to the house, whatever and all that, because he's trying to build that little side business, that side hustle. Now, in the midst of this, Scott has this thing where he starts to have a dream, which basically entails Hope's mom, and is played by Michelle Pfeiffer. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but we all do know that she is actually involved in the movie. That is not anything, spoilery, whatever. She is in the movie, and she's supposed to be playing the mother. Now, he does have a dream, and that's when he reaches out to Hope, and then she gets in contact with him and realizes they need to figure out what's going on, whatever, and all this. There's something they can do that could possibly open a door for them to figure out a way for her and her father to find a way to bring her back into the fold. Now, there's another person who's actually on canvas, and if you know, she's considered to be some sort of a villain. Now, to me personally, the character's name is Ghost, but her real name, of course, being Ava. We're introduced to her, and to me personally, I didn't see her as being really a villain. It's some sort of an adversary, but she was one of those type of characters where it's like misunderstood, was dealing with some things or whichever. So you get to learn a little bit more about her. I don't want to really give up too much about that, but let's just say she does explain herself in a couple of scenes, and you get to know exactly what her true intentions are. And it was really good when you edge out exactly what her whole purpose is, what her storyline is. And I will say this, her scenes going toe-to-toe, even with Scott and also with Hope, especially with Hope, were really good. That's one thing I can say within the movie. The fight sequences with her and with Paul Rudd's character were really good. I like that. Now, there's also some other people who are in the movie. I'm sorry, I meant to mention Walter Goggins is in this movie. He plays kind of like a little arms dealer of sorts with, technologies dealer, whatever, and all that. Shady. His name is Sonny Birch in the movie. I like Walter Goggins. He's in so many movies where he's always, I feel like he gets typecast. He's always playing the shady, slimy, creepy villain type of guy. Now, he's not considered a villain. He's just a little shady guy with an all who's trying to do business with, Hope and her dad, but trying to swindle her because he kind of knows that there's more to the story. He knows there's a lot more going on because he's basically keeping tabs on her and what she's doing, and he's trying to do a kind of like a business transaction under the table, so to speak. And I just like the scenes, of course, with him. The scenes with him and Michael Pena and his crew were hilarious. That's one thing I say. Overall, the pacing of the movie, I will say, you would kind of think it was slow. I actually like that because it is about 2 hours. It's about an hour, I think, and 58 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And it paced well for me. I can't speak for everyone else, but I like, the way it was, where it kind of get understanding, seeing, Scott with his daughter, his ex-wife, her man, and then, of course, seeing his dynamic happening with Hope and Hank again, and then seeing him with his guys, whichever, and then dealing with the officer, Wu, on his tail, trying to make sure, he can catch him, if he tries to leave the house, if he's doing stuff, whichever, and all that, and just kind of noticing all these little different, parts within the movie, whichever. Same thing with Walter Goggins' character, especially the scenes. There's a scene, I'm just going to put this part out there, it's not spoiler like that, a scene where his character and his tough guys, his muscle, were trying to intimidate Pena's character and his crew, and he shows up at their place of business, and he has this little guy who's doing, a way of trying to get the information or whatever truth out of him so they can locate certain things that Hope and her father and Scott are working on, and they were going to use a truth serum thing. And it was just so funny because the guy's like, it's not a truth serum, and he kept saying it, and they just kept saying, well, it looked like a truth serum to me, it's in a liquid little thing, it looks like it's truth. He's like, and the guy's just like, it's not truth serum. And the way he would say it was so hilarious. We just could not stop laughing. But I just love how they did use it on Michael Pena's character. And one thing I can say about Michael Pena, even though he's been in many movies, he does action, drama, but he does comedy so well that his scenes, being under the influence of, the truth serum were hilarious. And then just the fact of, other movies I've seen him in, if you didn't check out Chips, check it out. Hilarious. But yes, he's just hysterical to me. That's why I love that he doesn't get typecast. He does a little bit of everything, which I love. But overall, Ghost, you see scenes with her. You also get introduced to an old colleague of Hank's, which was played by Lawrence Fishburne, named Bill Foster. You learn a little bit more about him, the way they butt heads when they were doing business together, why they fell out, all those type of things. And then, of course, them being on a time clock to deal with a situation, like I said, pertaining to Michelle Pfeiffer's character, which, the way they have it credited in IMDb, they call her Wasp, but, I'm just like, she's originally the Wasp, basically, of course, Hope taking over, but then, she's considered her mom. And just the racing of trying to get, what they need to, create this, quantum thing to, see what they can, happen and make things, happen, to find a way to get her mom back, whichever, I will say that much. But overall, it was a great movie from beginning to end. Very funny, nice, lighthearted parts, good comedy, good action. The special effects, all that was done very well. Like I said, the fight sequences between Ghost and Wasp were good. And that's one thing I can say. Evangeline Lilly, she can kick some butt. And I love how she just, went to town. I like that we got to see her flex her muscles too, because we really didn't get to see too much of that in the first Ant-Man movie as well, which was nice to see. Michael Douglas's parts were really good. Can't say enough about Paul Rudd. He basically, if he wasn't in, you would think he was almost every scene in this movie. He was hilarious. There were some scenes that were just too funny with him. I like the scenes between him and Randall Park, which were hilarious as well. And I like him as well because he's funny on the show called Fresh Off the Boat, which is hysterical. So I like that whoever did the casting did a great job. I like the way it was done. T.I. did his thing as well. And I really can't say too much. I will say, as you all know, this is a Marvel movie. You need to stay to the end. There's some mouth-dropping scenes that happened. There's one funny scene, but there's one that's really like mouth dropping. And needless to say, you all will be very happy when you watch the movie. And that's basically all I'm going to say about that. Out of a 10, I would give it about I give it about a 9. There's nothing really wrong with it. I mean, I could give it a 10, but you know, it's all good. It's rare I give a full 10, but I enjoyed the movie for what it was, and I like that now that this one's done, we're coming towards the end of the year. This falls on the 10-year anniversary. I think it was very well done. I'm looking forward to Avengers 4. Looking forward to, excuse me, Captain Marvel first. I have to keep reminding myself we have that one because they keep talking so much about Avengers 4. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing, like I said, you know, what's going to happen on that, and then how that's going to conclude into what's going to happen with Avengers 4. But yeah, Paul Rudd, awesome job. Evangelina Lilly did great. Love the scenes, like I said, with Hannah, John Kamen, Lawrence Fishburne's character, Walter Goggins, funny. Of course, Michael Pena, you know, I could go on, and you all will really enjoy this. Almost so much that I almost thought about going to see it again, and I might just do that because I really enjoy this movie from beginning to end. So, but you guys, you know, comment below. Let me know if you all seen it. You know, if you liked it. Don't spoil anything in the comment section, please. You know, because if I see anything like that, I'm just going to just delete it out, whichever. I really want people to go see it, and then they can just come back. Hopefully, after a week, some people might say some stuff. By then, most people have seen it, so you can speak freely there. But just don't do anything, please, this weekend. I don't really want anybody coming for me in my comment section. So, with that said, you guys, I hope you enjoy the review. I will see you on the next one. You guys take care.